I think white people are so triggered by black joy because they have zero control over it. And white people are all about control. And anything they don't get to control and manage and dictate freaks them the hell out.
They don't get to be the leader.
Black joy is resistance. These people want to torment us. This whole executive action shit was a show of power. I want to show y'all diversity don't mean nothing. I want to show y'all that I'm going to have all these companies rolling back their policies because they can't stand on two legs. And, you know, I'm even thinking like companies are scared to get sued right now just because our president has said, that's their president. He ain't my president. But, you know, I will follow the law of the land. Our president has said that it is illegal. Diversity is illegal. The executive action reads to stop illegal discrimination. What? Like, I'm not about to let this country that y'all not about to get down on me and torment my mental health. Because y'all ain't never cared in the first place, in my opinion.
They say revolution looks like protest and pain. But the most radical thing I've ever witnessed is black joy. Because in a world built to break spirits, to watch a people still dance, still laugh, still create beauty out of grief, well, that's power. Black joy is not denial, it's defiance. It's history remembering itself and still choosing to sing. They couldn't silence the drum, so the rhythm lived on in the body. They couldn't steal the light, so the smile became the sun. They couldn't chain the spirit, so it found freedom in laughter. Black joy is healing disguised as happiness, a frequency strong enough to lift the room. It's culture as medicine, art as resilience, faith as resistance. And when you really see it, not as entertainment, but as endurance, you start to understand why America's healing depends on it. Because when black joy rises, the vibration of the world rises with it. And that's why I say black joy is revolutionary. Not just for those who live it, but for every soul awakened by its light.
Oh yeah guys, welcome back to the channel and I hope you are all doing good. So there is something powerful about joy, not the loud kind that seeks attention, but the deep grounded joy that comes from self-acceptance, the community and resilience. And yet, throughout history and even today, black joy has often been misunderstood. It has always been questioned or quietly resented. So guys, I just made this video so that we can explore this difficult but necessary conversation. Why does black happiness sometimes make people uncomfortable? So to understand this, we need first to understand the history. Anyway, let me roll these clips so that we can get what people are saying about this. Then I'll be coming back with more commentaries. Otherwise, stay tuned.
I'm going to keep saying this with my whole chest because some people are not deep thinkers. I understand that you're not a critical thinker. This is not for you. This is just not for you. Scroll up. So, my point today is, well, not today, but at this moment, like, why does black joy bother some white people? And some other groups, but majority is white people. And not all of you. You know what I'm talking about. You ever notice how the group of black folks, like they come together laughing, dancing, and just vibing and suddenly is labeled as too loud, too ghetto, or too much? Jealousy. Jealousy. You know why? Because they couldn't strip that away. And it's surviving. But let's be real. It's not about the volume that's the problem. It's the vibrations. It's the freedom. It's the fact that we can still find joy after centuries of trying to be stripped of who we are. We still make something out of nothing. You understand? See, black joy is like disruptive in certain people. It challenges. And where we're supposed to be broken and angry and silent, it's like loving, living, and celebrating. So it's not just confusion. It's threatening to a certain group of people. Because black joy, for us, is power, is resistance, it's healing, it's ancestral. Of all the things they said we could not do, it's lies. Remember, we were here way before other groups were here. And now our happiness is not a performance. It's reclaiming who we said we always were. So the next time somebody looks uncomfortable with your black joy, remember that. You're not the problem. They're just uncomfortable. and can't believe that after all this time, we are still celebrating who we are and who we are meant to be and who we are growing to be. So tell me, have you ever felt like your joy made somebody else uncomfortable? Let's talk about it, y'all. To me, I don't give a flying fuck who feels uncomfortable. This is my life, my body, and if you feel uncomfortable, move the fuck away. Right? Because where I was for Black Bike Weekend, we were on the side, I'm not gonna say the grown folk side, but we like our peace. So of course, it was a mix of black and white people. Like, we all around each other. We all talking to each other. You think anybody grabbed their purse because they see bikers in leather? No, they're used to it. They're talking, they're waving, they're like, oh, let me tell me about your bike, blah, 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 blah. These are people talking, not afraid and not jealous. There are some, but we didn't cross any this weekend. Okay? But have y'all ever experienced that? Like, you having joy, you having celebration, especially with all the graduates. Did you see those comments talking about black fatigue in the comments of black joy celebrating the college? See, the point that I'm trying to get at is no one who doesn't, how can I say this? If you black, you understand. It comes naturally, and it doesn't matter what state you from. We all have a common denominator of celebrating our blackness, and people can't stand that. People can't stand that. And I'm not just talking about in America. We go somewhere else. Black joy is celebrated different ways, but we still have that common denominator of celebrating of what we achieve regardless of the fact. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Anyway, happy Tuesday.
Alright, racists, let's talk about your distaste for black joy. Racist America fumes at the sight of happiness, especially when that person smiling is black. It's as if this country specializes in anger Olympics. Being a little too happy disturbs the patriotism. 3 or more laughs in one place is like being investigated by a mall cop. I'm gonna need to see some ID. Because deep down, they believe that pain is the only state that black indigenous people are allowed to live in. Black people start laughing too loud at their cousin's cookout. They throw on some Frankie Beverly. They start dancing with their auntie in a sundress while the ribs are sizzling. Instantly, their lives are in danger. It's like watching a perfect example of a case study on people who have a problem with control. It's like their obsession isn't just with control, it's like with the optics of it as well. They want to be seen as dominant in the space because they seem to disappear when there is black joy. When you throw your graduation cap in the air, surrounded by your entire family in matching t-shirts, they don't see achievement, they see defiance. Because in their minds, success was never black people's storyline. The truth is, black joy is a glitch in the racist lies that they feed themselves. They built a whole myth of superiority that only works if you're miserable, delusional, insecure, jealous, and mediocre. When black people shift the world with their joy and laughter, the racist's entire self-image starts to crack. This is why racists gatekeep golf courses, ban urban dress codes, side-eye loud laughter, and call the cops when the music's just a little too bassy. The unnecessary hate and determination to ruin black people's happiness is a disease, a brain-eating amoeba that siphons the cognition out of America's privileged society. And what hurts the most is that happiness and black joy is more infectious.
Even as we continue watching, we need to know that for centuries, black people were portrayed almost exclusively through pain, through struggle and survival. So those images were repeated so often that they became expectations. Even in movies, in news coverage, in classrooms, and even in casual conversations, black identity was always framed around hardship. So when black people express joy, real joy, the confidence, laughter, peace, it disrupts a narrative that many people were conditioned to believe.
I've come to the conclusion that a lot of white people are irritated by black joy. I was thinking about when Kamala was running for president, Vice President Kamala Harris was running for president, and the Republicans made so much of her laughter. It obviously agitated them so much that she was joyful and would laugh, that it was like they wanted to put out her light. And I've had a few instances that I've mentioned. One just yesterday, again with some black girlfriends at dinner, out enjoying ourselves, laughing, not loud, but joyful, having great conversation. And this woman behind us had such a scowl. She could not enjoy her own meal because she was so fixated on us. And I know that last time I've mentioned stuff like this, white women, would say, or people would come in my comments and say, oh, y'all would just be acting inappropriately. That's why they were looking, which we weren't, because of course, always the blame has to be on us. And it's not far-fetched to be truthful about your resentment of other people's joy. And because you can't grow unless you're truthful about what you need to work on. I remember being in stores and out and about and seeing white kids running around and acting in a way that, would have gotten me in trouble when I was a child. And I felt resentful because I felt like they had the freedom to do it. And I was so strict with my 2 young black boys because, I believe there's a pressure in the United States for black people to behave a certain way or we get called out very quickly, particularly black boys. And I always would correct them when we were in public, when they were acting like kids, frankly. I never wanted my kids to be seen as bad. And so I resented the freedom that white kids had to just be wild. I still thought they were kind of bad, but the fact that they had the freedom, I resented that, right? I don't know why white people resent it. And that's something that they need to investigate. But I do believe greatly that a lot of white people are annoyed, agitated, resentful of black joy. So I think that white people should work on that. I'm serious. Work with a therapist, do some personal deep diving and figure out why it agitates you. Is it our freedom? Is it jealousy? What is it? And then for black people, my directive would be have more joy. Agitate the fuck out of people. Joy is your right. You deserve it. And what I think is incredible is that we are able to find joy often in spite of. Keep on being happy. Keep on finding moments of joy. Enjoy each other. Smile and laugh. Laugh so much that people have to talk about it, like they did with Vice President Harris.
Guys, disruption often makes people uncomfortable. Black joy challenges this idea that dignity must be granted by someone else. It shows that fulfillment does not require permission, that confidence doesn't need validation, and for some observers, especially those raised within rigid social hierarchies, that can feel threatening, even if they don't consciously realize it. This is not always about hatred, sometimes it's about unlearning. And in many societies, joy has been tied to status. Who is allowed to be carefree? Who is allowed to celebrate loudly? Who is praised for confidence? And who is criticized for it? So when black people show happiness without apology, it exposes these double standards. Yeah, think about it. And when black people laugh loudly, they are called excessive. When they dress boldly, they are labeled attention seeking. So when they celebrate themselves, they are told to be humble. Yet those same expressions are often praised in others. So that contradiction creates tension. Another layer of this discomfort comes from comparison. Joy has a way of revealing inner dissatisfaction. When someone sees another group finding happiness despite obstacles, despite history, despite inequality, it can force a hard internal question. Why am I not as fulfilled? And instead of reflecting inward, some people project outward. So this is where jealousy can quietly enter the picture, not always as open hostility, but as criticism, as mockery or dismissal. So joy becomes minimized, success becomes questioned, happiness becomes framed as fake or undeserved. But black joy is not accidental. It is rooted in culture. It is rooted in music, in spirituality, in humor. It is rooted in family and community. It was born in spaces where survival demanded creativity, where laughter was used as medicine, where hope was passed down like an inheritance. You know, black joy exists because of history, not in denial of it. And that is exactly why it is powerful. Joy is not ignorance of struggle. Joy is resilience in spite of it. For some people, especially those who are taught directly or indirectly that worth is tied to dominance or hierarchy, seeing black people thrive emotionally can feel destabilizing. It challenges old assumptions about who is supposed to be confident, who is supposed to be calm and fulfilled. But here is the truth, that joy is not a limited resource. Sometimes someone else's happiness does not take away from yours. Someone else's confidence does not diminish your value. So the discomfort surrounding black joy says more about unresolved social conditioning than about black people themselves. And the path forward is not denial, it is understanding. Understanding that joy does not need to look the same for everyone. Understanding that freedom includes emotional freedom. And understanding that when people heal, they don't ask permission to smile. So this conversation is not about blaming, it's about awareness. When we question why certain forms of happiness trigger us, we create space to grow. We move from defensiveness to reflection, from resentment to respect. Because in the end, joy should never be threatening. It should be contagious. And a world that learns to celebrate black joy rather than question it is a world that learns how to be more honest, how to be more equal and more human. Yes. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Of course, all credit belongs to the original creators of the video. In this video, it's meant for educational purposes and commentary purposes as well. Be blessed. Peace be with you. Kindly give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video widely for it to get to a wider audience, and also subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss on the next one. Have a nice time. Until the next one, peace be with you.